Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Today you're going to be listening or watching the Tefsir of Surah Al-Ma'un verses 1 to 7. This is the full Surah Tefsir.
أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون.
The love of the world causes nations to lose faith and consign Allah to oblivion. This surah denounces some of the evil actions of the pagans and the hypocrites, and it holds out a threat of destruction to those who commit them. If these evil actions are committed by believers who do not reject the true faith, they are still heinous and gravely sinful. But the threat of chastisement made in this surah does not apply to them. Therefore, the verse 1 of this surah, which means, "Have you not seen him who denies the recruiter?" as a preamble, makes plain that the person who performs these evil deeds is one who cries lies to the doom. And therefore, the warnings of punishment mentioned in this surah is for those who deny the religion and the day of judgment. This verse contains a subtle indication that the moral sins condemned in this surah are far too inconceivable from a believer. Only a non-believer or hypocrite would commit them. The morally bad and sinful deeds mentioned here are: 1. Oppressing and insulting the orphan and being unkind to them. 2. Despite the means, failing to feed the poor or failing to urge others to feed them. 3. Praying in public only, not in private, only to show the people. And 4. Failing to pay the zakat obligatory alms. These actions are intrinsically bad and gravely sinful, but their commission in the wake of kufr, which means disbelief, and takdhib, which means rejection, are even more aggravating because they attract eternal perdition, which in this surah is described as wail, heavy affliction or calamity or disaster or destruction. The verses 4 to 6 of this surah, which means, "So woe to those performers of salah who are neglectful of their salah, who do good only to show off." These verses describe the characteristics of the hypocrites who used to perform the prayers only to make a display of them to the people and prove that their claim of being sincere Muslims is true. And they do not believe in the obligatory nature of the prayers. They are not regular at them, and they do not observe the prescribed time, but offer them carelessly at the 11th hour or completely out of time. They perform them only when they must to make a display of them. Otherwise, they have no place in their lives. The preposition "an," translated earlier as "of" in the prepositional phrase neglectful of their salah, is significant. It indicates that they, the hypocrites, are neglectful of the very concept of salah. This does not refer to the unintentional errors, slips, and mistakes that Muslims make in their prayers. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, also made this type of unintentional mistakes in his prayers. The warning of hell by the expression of will does not apply to such mistakes. If that was the case, the prepositional phrase would have been fi salatihim in their prayers instead of an salatihim, neglected of their prayers. The verse 7 of this surah, which means "and refuse to give even small gifts." The word "mean" literally means any small or petty thing, and idiomatically it refers to small household articles of common use such as axe, hoe, cooking pot, which at the time of need neighbors borrow from one another. Anyone who is unwilling to lend such small items is morally a very miserly and mean person. However, in this current verse, the word ma'un is taken in the sense of zakah, obligatory alms, because it is a little amount out of much wealth, only 2.5% out of the entire wealth. Majority of the commentators like Sayyidina Ali ibn Umar, Azan Basri, Qatada, Dhahak and others hold the view that mahon implies zakah. The threats of will, torment of hell, can only be failure to fulfill one's legal obligation. Giving small items to help out one's fellow human beings is a humanitarian and philanthropic gesture that carries much reward in the hereafter, but it is not an obligation at all, the violation of which could lead to eternal perdition. Traditions reporting that Maun refers to pots and pans and other household items of daily use are to show that if a person is reluctant to part with such small items, how will he have the heart to part with 2.5% of his wealth? The traditions purports to say that these people are so narrow-minded that they are not willing to make the least bit of selfless sacrifice for the welfare and well-being of others. They are morally mean, low, and miserly in the extreme. Therefore, they do not pay their legal harms. Thus, the threat of punishment in hellfire is not on account of failure to do one's neighborly acts of kindness, but for failure to pay the legal harms and perhaps for their extreme niggardliness. Thank you so much. That is the Tefsir of Surah Al-Mahun, and I hope to see you guys in my next Tefsir video.